This is it. It is over. We have successfully finished Plato's Republic. I am sad that it's over and excited to start a new book soon, but first, let's talk about Book 10. Book 10 was a little weird to me. It talks about how forms and how art, painting, poetry is fake, and they are only imitators, which is true in a sense, but I didn't really get why they started talking about it until they were discussing whether or not those things should be allowed in their society, which shocked me. As a non-artistic person myself, I still have to appreciate the talent, beauty, and influence poetry and painting have on the world, regardless of if it's just an imitation or not. In my opinion, art captures things as they should be in the eyes of the artist, and gives what may have been a mundane object new life in the eyes of others. All forms of expression should be allowed to flourish. Some pieces serve as warnings, and some express dangerous opinions, but ultimately it is good that these forms of expression exist. When talking about the idea of forms, or the idea that there is something perfect out there, like there is a perfect tree that exemplifies what everyone considers to be a tree. So maybe that's not super clear, but think about, when you think of a tree, what do you think of? Is it something that has a lot of branches, a few leaves? This form, this perfect form, it exists out there somewhere, created by God. Now, Plato says that the purest idea of these things are created by God. Isn't the point of God's creations, us, to imitate Him in all things? If we are to imitate behavior, then why not His creations, like nature, or the purest form of something like a bed or a table, which Plato says is created by God? There is a pure form of everything, and we should be allowed to seek after them and imitate them as a form of gratitude and awe of God's creations. To me, seeking out God's behaviors isn't quite enough. I think forming what He forms, or trying to recreate what He does, is ultimately good. That's why we should have children. That's why we should have a society that is led by religious people. And I think that makes a difference in our progression. In addition to this, he talks about how the human body, it doesn't have a pure form, but it does have some unalterable substance about it, which is the soul. This soul, according to Plato, is indestructible, and even though the body breaks down, the soul never will. Thus, our minds are immortal. Who we are will never die or go away. We are souls who will one day meet God in the life after this one. Knowing this, what does that make you want to do with your life? Now, before we get into the story that made me want to reread the entirety of the Republic, I want to set before you a scenario. Imagine you could be anyone or anything you wanted to be. You could be an athlete. You could be a king or a queen. You could be a lion or an ant or anything you imagine. What would you choose? Who would you be? Plato tells of a man called Lachesis and the vision that he saw. Lachesis, thought to be dead, has his soul drawn from his body and is taken to the afterlife. There, he sees companions meeting each other, and they are overjoyed to be there. They are all encamped, waiting to be taken to where the good are separated from the evil. After walking quite a ways, a cave opens, and people are sorted according to their actions. The people who are good keep walking for a while before coming to what is essentially a room of choices. The dead gather in a line and pick one by one who they want to be in the next life. The angel who is guiding them, which isn't exactly what it is, but it's close enough for our purposes right now, promises that everyone will be able to have their ideal life should they choose wisely. The first man chooses the life of a tyrant as he seeks after lustful things, and upon realizing his mistake, he screams and blames everyone else for his poor decisions. Some people choose fame and glory. Others choose to be lions or other types of creatures rather than be human again. Finally, the great hero Odysseus comes last and looks at his options. He has seen that after seeking after worldly glory won't get him the happiness he seeks, and thus chooses the life of a philosopher. Odysseus says that even if he were first in line, this is who he would have wanted to become. All the souls have their memories wiped and are born into their new lives as Lachesis wakes up and relates his story. The biggest and most important part of this story to me is the idea that we can do anything with parameters set by God. What is puzzling, though, is the notion that we must wait to change. There is no need to wait for an event like death to change into who we want to become. So I ask you again, with all that the book has taught, what do you want to become? Who do you see yourself as? Are you happy? If not, what are you going to do to change that? There is no need to wait for the body to die for the spirit to be set free. We can make decisions today that will put us on the path of happiness. Regular exercise, eating right, feeding our minds worthwhile information, and learning of the doctrine of Christ will bring us closer to that goal. As I say goodbye to Plato's Republic for now, I definitely want to leave you with this message. We can do this. You are capable of mighty things. You are capable of great things. We are capable of changing our lives for the better every day, should we choose to. I'm so thankful for the opportunity to talk and testify these things to you, and I'm very excited to read a short story, which was suggested by a user, Mr. Guy. The story is All Tomorrows by C.M. Kursman. It's a free PDF online that he himself circulated, so I invite you all to read it. I've started it. It's very different, very interesting in very different ways. Hopefully I'll be able to finish it quickly enough for the next video, and if not, we'll break it into a couple parts. Thank you so much. I love you all. Until next time.